Hello guys, what is up and welcome to the final episode of Kirby's Dreamland 2, the War Criminal Edition. This is an exclusive edition of the game only for the PlayStation 6, and it basically comes with a real gun, a gun-shaped controller, as well as a bobblehead of Vladimir Putin himself, because basically, if you guys did not know, the objective of this game is to defeat Vladimir Putin, and in the process we go through a really emotional story about a normal man whose life is changed overnight because he becomes a war criminal who gains the access to governmental experiments that can make him get powers, I guess. This is the last episode. It's an interesting plot. It just doesn't convey the gameplay in the right way, you know? It's like you would think something with a plot this menacing and like dark and dreary, you would think it would be like a third-person shooter type game, like The Last of Us thing, you know, something made by like Naughty Dog or something, or even From Software at this point. But no, it's just a side-scrolling platformer made by Nintendo that happens to have Vladimir Putin in it. And me personally, I'm just not a big fan, you know. I gotta give this game a 1 out of 5 stars. If I could give it lower than that, then I would. There's too many stars in the game, though. There's stars above that door right there. Oh my god. Like, seriously, though, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I actually hate this game so much, as well as the rest of the Kirby franchise. Now that I can, like, emulate, like, GameCube and Wii games really easily, I don't know, like, maybe playing through Kirby's Epic Yarn, per se, will, like, change my opinion on it. I don't know, like, because that's, like, those are the ones that, like, they look good enough to the point where, like, I actually want to get into them. And then you have the older ones where they're, like, really bland. The music isn't, like, what it is today. And, like I've played, like, Star Allies. Again, I'm not a huge fan. I really just don't like the Kirby games in general. Like, Star Allies was okay, especially compared to these first two that I played on here. Dreamland 1 and 2, of course. Like, Star Allies was okay compared to some of the other ones I've played. In general, Kirby just isn't my thing. Like, you know, like, especially whenever that's, like, all Nintendo is making content for. Like, if you're a Kirby fan, you're just eating up because, like, you get, like, at least one game a year, to be honest. Then, like, Mario sitting over here, he's Nintendo's mascot, apparently. You know, like, he hasn't got a game in, like, 5 years. You know? I mean, what was the last, like, actually relevant game that Mario got? I would say probably the Mario Olympics game back in 2020, if we're being honest here. I'm not kidding when I say that. Like, that was probably the last relevant game that we got for, like, Mario stuff. Meanwhile, since then, Kirby has had an epic AAA adventure, AAA adventure, whatever you want to call it. And then, as well as the remake of some other, like, Wii game made, like, based on Kirby or whatever. Then he has, like, all of his games ported over to Switch, basically, through the Virtual Console. So, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. I don't, like, if you're a Kirby fan, you're just eating up. In all fairness, like, there was a point in time where, like, you could say the same thing about Mario fans, and then Kirby fans got absolutely nothing. Same thing with, like, Sonic, because, like, Mario, there was a point in time where you'd get, like, all these different Game Boy Advance games, and then, meanwhile, on their other, like, home console, you'd have, like, Super Mario 64 coming out, you know? Then, like, Sonic, there was probably a time where they had, like, 5 games in 1 year. Like, they had Sonic Rush, they had freaking Sonic Colors, Sonic like Lost World, and like there's so many different things that they essentially just threw together and called it a game and released it. Even though most Sonic games are just revamped versions of one another, I'm still I'm still a bigger Sonic fan than I am Mario. Hate to say it, hate to break the news to y'all, but like, hey, are we not all bigger Sonic fans than we are Kirby fans? Because Kirby is just that boring. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm actually more so excited that I'm like ending off this Let's Play. Normally I'd be like thanking you guys for watching this Let's Play, but I guarantee nobody will watch this Let's Play because it's Kirby, and Kirby is for literal 5-year-olds, and nobody past the age of like 12 likes Kirby, and like all of my viewers are over 18, meaning no, well, not like all of my viewers. Like, I think like a good 64% of my viewers are over 18, meaning none of them like this content, and I can guarantee it right now. Like, I don't think that I've ever played a genuinely like good Kirby game, you know? Like Super Mario Galaxy, that's something that like leaves something with you, even if it's not entirely like story based, like something like Mafia would or Yakuza, something like that. Then like you have, like, let me bring another example into it. Like even just Nintendo's like Metroid series. You'll play through even the old Metroid games nowadays, and you'll think to yourself like, okay, that was a decent platformer, because it was. Like, I'm not going to sit here and deny that the Metroid games are good, because the Metroid games are alright. But, like, I think from the get-go, Kirby has not necessarily been the greatest franchise, and will necessarily ever reach the levels of some of Nintendo's other franchises. I own Forgotten Land. I haven't actually played it yet. Like I own a physical copy of the game. Haven't actually played it yet. I've heard that it has a decent story. It's nice and story based. I don't know. Is it going to be a good like switch up from the main formula? If it is, I don't know. I'm gonna check it out. I'm willing to check it out. That I'll say that much. But for now, I think I'm gonna stick with like Metroid Dread or like Tears of the Kingdom, you know, something relevant in Nintendo's other franchises, because all like for a franchise that I'd say barely anyone likes outside of Japan, you know, like you can't necessarily focus on that, because like it's to the point where Kirby is essentially their mascot. You know, everything about them is red, not black and white. It's all red. Now, see, I never seen a Mario game intentionally be black and white, other than Super Mario Land. But those were ported to the Game Boy Color, and those are obviously the definitive versions of the game. So there's absolutely no reason whatsoever to play a Kirby game. Lesson learned. Like even before I actually gave you guys the Let's Play on Kirby's Adventure 1 way earlier this year, I had played not Kirby's Adventure 1, Kirby's Dreamland 1 way earlier this year. I had played Kirby's Adventure on the NES almost full way through. Like I had gotten up to the 4th world on it, and like I wasn't digging it. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys and say, oh yeah, it was alright compared to other. No, it was straight ass compared to other. I'm not even gonna say games in the franchise, because every game in this franchise sucks. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna defend the franchise that I hate. I hate Kirby with a passion. And that's why I'm, like, excited to end off this Let's Play in this episode. With that being said, thank anyone who has stuck through with it. I doubt anyone has, because it's Kirby, you know. But thank anyone who has stuck through with it, because I wouldn't if I was you. I couldn't sit through 20-minute long Kirby videos waiting for something different to happen. You know? I gotta say, I wish I had like a PS3 so I can play like some of the more like relevant titles, because obviously there's a lot of good PS4 games and PS5 games. PS5 is backwards compatible with PS4, so no point in owning a PS4 nowadays. You know, might as well just sell it for a PS3 with actual good exclusives, and not just exclusives, but like good games from that era in general, like Red Dead Redemption 1. Something I've wanted to play for a long time. I actually did have a little bit of experience with Red Dead Redemption 1 way back in the day, you know, when PlayStation Now was still a thing. That's when I played Red Dead Redemption 1, and I wasn't digging it so much. Like, it was, it wasn't my thing back then. We'll just say that. And plus, I just didn't like Western stuff in general. So, Red Dead Redemption 1 wasn't necessarily my thing, I'm not gonna lie. Well, not the best thing that I've ever played. Now, Red Dead Redemption 2, I've heard great things about it. I've heard it's a nice, like, cinematic story game. I'm into those. I'm gonna check it out. But, now that I'm, like, a little bit older, now that I can actually focus for more than 5 seconds without seeing a cartoon character, I would like to go back to Red Dead Redemption 1, and that's the thing. PlayStation Now doesn't exist anymore, so I don't really have the chance to do that. I wish I did. Because like I said, I would love to go back to Red Dead Redemption 1 and, actually try it out again. That's what I mean. Like, the PS3, there's a lot of great games from the PS3 and Xbox 360 era. One of the coolest things I've ever found in, a retro game store was probably, the original Assassin's Creed on Xbox 360. Because, I never saw, an actual physical copy of the game. I don't know, I didn't even know they existed, to be honest, you know? In all seriousness, though, I had never actually seen an actual physical copy of the game. And, it was cool to find one out there in the wild. If I owned a Xbox 360, I would have bought it. And I wasn't taking the risk on whether or not it was backwards compatible with the Xbox One. Because I've bought in 360 games before, and they just didn't work with the Xbox One. Those are the ones that, that they get sold at the garage sales that I wish I was rich enough to have. But in all seriousness, it would be cool to go back and play, the original Assassin's Creed. I know the Assassin's Creed franchise is, for the most part, an anthology. But, still, going back to see how it all started, whenever, most people, I guarantee, haven't had that chance, that would be amazing. I've played Assassin's Creed 2, I've played a little bit of Assassin's Creed 3 before, and then the only other Assassin's Creed games I've played besides those is the mobile game and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I haven't actually beaten any Assassin's Creed games. I plan for Assassin's Creed 2 to be the first one I beat, and I'm still going through it right now. Thing is, I don't know, should I play, I'm playing through, 5 different games all at once, because, I'm a little bitch, and I can't make up my mind. So, I don't know, should I, the ones I'm playing through right now is God of War Ragnarok, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. Don't blame me, it's a great platformer, I'm not gonna lie. Better than fucking Kirby's Dream Land. The Putin plot. But, yeah. Then we got Sackboy in there. Actually underrated PlayStation exclusive, I won't lie. Something messed up with like my controls where I have to actually control Sackboy with the left analog stick. So that kind of sucks. But that's just my personal experience with the game. I don't know if there's a way to change it or not, because like I tried going into the control settings and it won't let me change it. But yeah. That does kind of suck, having to play with the left analog stick rather than, the right one, because I'm right-handed. It means I also have to jump with the same button that I move with, which is hard to get used to. And I'm also playing through Uncharted 3 right now. I've beaten Uncharted 1 and 2, and I'm probably about halfway through Uncharted 3, I would assume. Based on the length of the other ones, I would assume I'm a little over, or a little under halfway, I'd say. Just because I haven't really been grinding on it as much as I would have with Uncharted 1 and 2. Because, Uncharted 1, in my opinion, and this is a hot take, I think Uncharted 1 is better than Uncharted 2. I'm not going to lie to you. I think Uncharted 1 is way better than Uncharted 2. I understand there's people that think, the Uncharted 2, gameplay is better. To me, it's the Uncharted 1, story that's better. It's, it feels like a, doesn't feel like an action story. It feels like an adventure story. And it tries something different. And then Uncharted 2 came along, and it wasn't a bad game. I love everything I've experienced in the Uncharted franchise so far. But, the thing with it was that they tried to be just like every other video game in existence, and they didn't try something different like the first game did. Because the first game, you have to keep in mind, I feel like it was more so of an adventure title because of the fact that they were, making that transfer. Naughty Dog was making that transfer from, being for kids to being for adults. Because, we're talking the same people that were responsible for The Last of Us also made Crash Bandicoot, which, to me, is, crazy. You go from a revolutionary PS1 game to an absolutely genre-defining PS3 game. So, that's amazing to me. I'm sure you've all heard this story by now about all these different games that changed the gaming industry. You have the major ones like Uncharted in itself, Jak and Daxter 2, The Last of Us. A lot of Naughty Dog up in there. Then you got, Red Dead Redemption 2. It changed the way, stories are told in video games. There's a lot out there that, I feel like they really deserve their appreciation just for having the, what's the right word? I'm not sure, honestly. I'm just saying, there's a lot of really underrated titles out there. Let's just put it that way. And a lot of titles that, for sure, changed the gaming industry forever. Dating from, all the way back to the NES to even up until today. There's so many games that changed the way we look at different genres and different, gameplay tropes. Resident Evil 4... they introduced us to the idea of, what we know third-person shooters as today. And then stuff like Uncharted and The Last of Us simply built on those ideas that were already introduced. Then, same thing with, Crash Bandicoot. I think what they did is they took that Mario formula of, platforming, jumping from block to block. They made it slightly harder. And, boom. Great game. In fact, a genre-defining game that a lot of people love to this day. Especially because of the remastered trilogy. Which is I think that's probably the definitive way to play those games nowadays. Is probably the remastered trilogy of them. Because, obviously, like, they are, like, pretty hard games whenever you actually sit down to play them. Like, I feel like you see that trope a lot in platformers, and I think that's what kind of brought that to life, was, like, Uncharted. They brought the idea of platformers being semi-hard and not just for fun. Like, they brought that to life. Naughty Dog has honestly, like, given us, like, they've brought in us, like, so many gaming tropes that we see even today. And, like, it's like I said, like, The Last of Us and Uncharted, like, those took inspiration from Resident Evil 4. And then they built on everything that Resident Evil 4, like gave us in the first place. Because obviously, Resident Evil 4, it gets praised for doing it first. The Last of Us, it gets praised for doing it better. I feel like it's the same thing with, like, a lot of platformers. Like, the debate on whether, like, who's better, Sonic or Mario. I think it's, like, there's a lot of bias towards Mario because he gets praised for doing it first. And then, like, you gotta admit, there's some good Sonic games. Even if you're not a big fan, like, there are some good games. And whenever he gets praised for his games, it's because he's doing them better. Especially on the story side of things. Especially. And you guys know me, I love a good, like, single-player adventure. Like, I'll sit down and play a multiplayer game like Call of Duty. I don't mind them. I'm saying I prefer to sit down and have fun with a single-player adventure that's gonna, like, change my life forever. Give me new life lessons to learn and everything. And it's gonna make me transform myself from, like, white to black, you know? From skinny to fat. Or fat to skinny in my case, you know? That's why I lean more towards on, like, Sonic, because it actually has, like, them, like, I know there's bad Sonic games for sure, but it has, like, the story to it, and then Mario's just, wahoo, and, you know, it gets tiring. Alright, that was a close one. And I think we got, like, 3 more hits left. And then we are officially done with this Let's Play right after the credits and everything. Alright, we gotta dodge that. Ooh. 1 hit left, baby. And there we go. There we go. I'm done with this stupid Let's Play. Like I said, I hate the Kirby franchise so freaking much. I can't get over how much I just hate this franchise, especially after having to voice over these episodes for this game. This game absolutely sucks so terribly. I'm tired of it. You guys ain't gonna get another Kirby game for a while. I can guarantee that much. But let's let these credits play out. I did speed them up because they take a while. Anyways, thank those of you who have stuck through with the Let's Play. If you liked it, let me know. Maybe I will do some more Kirby content. Probably not, but maybe if people actually like it. So please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and maybe even hit the notification bell if you feel like it. That being said, that's it. Bye.